This last pick, I like it. The Monkey King comes out, and they're going to go all in on aggression.
He's probably not going to have any better of a time against Bristleback, so this is the best they can do. Salvage that top lane, and hope that Nothing to Say can at least find a little bit of farm against this Monkey King. I have to say, LGD has definitely set themselves up quite well with how they've run these lanes.
Disruption coming out of FY. Sylar getting blocked up a bit. FY, 3 Shadow Poison stacks. Should be able to find a 4th, and the 5th would basically guarantee the kill, though no, they will find it. FY does get first blood on the Shadow Demon, and that will be Sylar going down.
Like, Somnus is really just going to shut him out of here. He can kind of play in the jungle, but he's nowhere near a Morbid Mask just yet, so sustaining in that jungle is going to be a bit tricky.
Nothing to say, they're going to make the jump now. FY has rotated on the Shadow Demon, and he's got no waveform available still, so all he can do is Strength Morph still. Shadow Poison's being stacked up. FY just standing around for some reason, but he gets 4 stacks. That's going to be enough, and he claims another kill as Y will run in with the Ink Swab, but doesn't really connect. Does get the Stroke of Fate with the concussive shot, but can they get in range for the Arcane Bolt? Q still trying for it. I don't believe 1 will be enough. No, definitely not. FY will be perfectly fine. Well, they do still have a very nice late game kind of lineup, but you know, another one of those problems is, you know, we talked about the balls going down for Faith Beyond. Look at Old 11. He's taking down the balls again, though. Raw now does come out with the Will-O-Wisp coming out from X-Nova to try and protect an Old 11. Looks to turn a Somnus. A great rotation on the Monkey King, and Faith Beyond's going to be caught out here. And what I was trying to say is, not only do you have balls to take off the Beastmaster now, but he has a Helm of the Dominator.
Yeah, I mean, why not? There's no response from EHOME. They do smoke up in Faith Beyond and Sin Q. Maybe they find a pick-off?
Oh, Raw gonna be there. They did end up finding Somnus, and now they break down the tree. Somnus has no way out of it. And that is the strength of having the vision from these Hawks that Faith Beyond can throw out.
There's just nothing to threaten this Bristleback at this point. They've given him the good
Sylar.
start he's looking for. Sylar.
He's coming in, pops a Soul Ring, gets a Dragon Tail off, but his back has been turned. Will-O-Wisp now will be very nice from X-Nova, catching 4 heroes in FY with the disruption, looking to turn. Somnus comes in with a great Boundless Strike. They do essentially take it on Nothing to Say. Soulbind will come out as well with a double silence, but doesn't matter. You've got Chalice there now, and Sylar, he just melts. Old 11, he may need to back a little bit, but you found the Morphling. Nothing to Say gets his tree chop down, and FY finds a double kill on the Shadow Demon. Now LGD have this weird decision to make. Do we want to go for a tier 3 push? Or do we want to defend that bottom tier 2? Because they have time. They are going to go back down bot.
Ooh.
Disruption is there onto Sylar. FY is the only one, but now the TPs do start coming in, and Sylar, he gets caught by the chains. No TP for you, Mr. DK. And Chalice, can he find somebody else? He has Remnants, he just needs vision. But bounty runes are up. He'll just stick around for those instead. And now they do see Sin Q. He is around. They give the go-ahead. Chalice, it's time to go. No remnants available for Chalice. And now with the Raw, with the Ancient Seal and Mystic Flare, it's a lot of damage. But they got the Disruption and Will-O-Wisp off in time. And now it looks like Chalice is willing to try and turn this one around. And poor old Faith Beyond is going to go down, as well as the Skywrath Mage. In fact, never mind. The Skywrath did manage to get out. But they got Faith. But do you really want to fight right now into LGD? It just seems way too difficult. Is that enough? They're going to go in.
Probably not.
If they can get the Aegis to be massive, and now Wukong's command comes out on a double Boundless Strike, and they got the Aegis up on Somnus. Sin Q gets bursted immediately. Now the Ethereal Blade does do a lot of damage to Somnus. Can he run away? It doesn't really matter anyway. He's got the Aegis. And they don't even get that. Somnus going to be perfectly fine thanks to FY. Oh, nothing to say. He knows he's being chased down right now by Somnus. Somnus looking a little bit like Thompson as he jumps through the tree line, but he gets silenced up. Now Chalice comes in. A great Will-O-Wisp from X-Nova, forcing Y back into it, and Nothing to Say. All he can do is Strength Morph, but there is no help coming. FY cancels the TP of Y as well, and it's 2 more kills for the side of LGD. Two GG branches being placed. In fact, multiple being placed. Is that Y? Gonna get gooed up. He does have a haste rune though. He should be fine. The bot lane, Sylar, gonna BKB TP out of there. He will be okay, but I can't say the same for Faith Beyond, who has been caught out again by Somnus. He commits Roar, it will be to no good. That was a double Roar, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't have anything to follow up with.
There is a lot of potential if you actually do find one or two of these big heroes. So you want to try to get a kill onto Old 11, but it's just such a tick target now.
Sylar getting jumped. He thought he could get an easy kill onto X-Nova. That will not be the case, and that was BKB and Shadowblade committed underneath the Sentry Ward. That will bring his BKB down to 8 seconds, and it's been 2 defensive uses of the BKB so far, which is really not the way the DK wants to have to use it. LGD getting closer and closer now to being able to go up that high ground. Poor old Y has no way to get away from old 11. He does Ghost Scepter at least, but Lotus Orb comes out. Nothing really affecting this Bristleback. They get silences off, but he just doesn't care.
They just don't have a way of getting into these fights. You can't burst old 11 down. You need to reach the backline. You have no way of jumping that backline as well.
Old 11 gonna go back. Faith, he'd love to get a raw target, but none of the targets he can actually kill are really showing up. He does have a 10-second BKB charge now on the Beastmaster, so he does have some form of defense. But Wukong's is out and nothing to say. Waveform's away just in the nick of time, but Chains are there from Chalice, and he looks to blow up this Morphling during that Ghost form. Somnus sticks around, Raw comes out, but it's all too late. They need to back off to the fountain. Sylar's going to try and man-fight with his BKB, but Somnus does not mind a BKB at all. They buy back on nothing to say at least, and it looks like maybe they fight Old 11, though no. He survives through all the damage they throw at him. And there's the GG. They've had enough. In LGD, they pull off a very, very easy and dominant victory for themselves. 22-1 in terms of kill score.
Yeah, just really clean execution coming out from LGD. A really solid, straightforward draft. You know, there were no surprises in this draft.
That's something we don't get the pleasure of seeing every day, and it is indeed going to be a support Zeus, so nothing to say is going to be up against that Invoker in the mid lane. Somnus could be in trouble though. He's underneath the ward right now. Xingqiu and Y gonna wait. They get the vines out. Somnus, Tornado is gonna be nice. He does Fairy Fire up, but Xingqiu surely has the damage with the next Lightning Bolt, and does, and that'll be the first blood going out to the way of EHOME. Xingqiu picks it up on the Zeus.
I don't think you're gonna be too upset if you're EHOME. Get away with the runes. That's gonna give you even more of a edge here, as they do increase their lead to 4K. At 10 minutes in, really big lead at this point.
Nothing to say. Bot lane finds Chalice. Now that's huge. As Terrorblade's already that far behind, and it looks like they're going to try and bait the team fight out by the T1 tower. They do run into Xingqiu and Y. Y is going to break the smoke, so they're forced to go. It's not the target they really want, but they're going to have to settle, and they will find him. Faith Beyond is also around with Raw. He does commit the Raw on the Rolling Thunder Pango. Just make sure he doesn't get stunned up and nuked down with the pacing of this game, because you've got the Battle Fury coming up very soon on Sylar. And LGD, they must be aware of this, so they do smoke up. They are going to go for that very important troll pick-off right now. You should really have no issues getting this if you find the setup, and with that Cold Snap Tornado EMP, it should be more than enough. Nice impel from FY, and that's going to be a really great pick-up onto Sylar. There will be no rotations coming from EHOME to try and help him out. They do at least bring Old 11, who's currently being watched by Y. So close they could smell each other right now, and Y pings him out like, here he is, he's here. Rolling Thunder is going to be available and everything being thrown out, though he will swashbuckle away. The overgrowth was there in time, and they do get the roar off, but here comes LGD. Tornado only going to connect on one, and that was Sylar. It will not save Old 11 on the Pangolier.
They know this is the moment they're weak. You know, they understand with the Terrorblade, with how the draft of EHOME shaped up and countering that Terrorblade, they need to wait.
I mean, it's a support kill. He knew at some stage he was going to die, or maybe not. Somnus does come in. They have found the Nyx Assassin kill. Y going to rotate up. LGD may need to get out of there, but there is going to be a buyback in Chalice. He popped the meta. They want that T1 mid tower. They're tired of not having any map control at all. But it looks like they're kind of second-guessing whether they actually fight. And now Raw does come out on Old 11. He is falling very low. Overgrowth to follow up. The Sunray healing him, but not enough. And now X-Nova to get jumped. Battle Trance will be popped as well. Sile just kind of hitting creeps with that Battle Trance. Egg going to go through. Sing-Q going to get stunned up by it. But LGD have nothing to follow up with. So it's time to get out of there. You've got X-Nova who could try to steal with Icarus Dive, but that is very difficult and very risky. Sunstrike will give vision at least, so he could try. It's worth a shot. He tries. Aegis, he gets it! Oh, X-Nova, how dare you? You can't just do that. Somnus will tip him. He does get caught out. It's worth it. He dies here. He knows he dies. You deny the Aegis. You drag on the game. What a play from X-Nova. You know how hard that is to get, John? With an Icarus Dive? Faith Beyond, going to chase down Somnus now. Thunder God's Wrath giving vision and gets the roar off. Now that you don't want to happen. Cold Snap, but there's no way for Somnus to be out of here. He just delays things a little bit. On the brighter side, while Somnus was dying, they did get the mid-tier 1 tower.
And he can follow up with his Impale if he lands it, so a lot more potential there for LGD with that pickup, but they're going to have to do it before the BKBs are blown.
Somnus. Oh, he's caught out again. This is not good. You've got the Nimbus available on the Zeus now. Sing-Q. Even more scouting potential, more team fight. Nimbus will be used up. That should be it for EHOME. Yeah, they won't go any further, I don't think. But Old 11 definitely wants to try and capitalize. Though his smoke breaks, he's going to get roared up by Faith Beyond if he's not too careful. Lotus Orb. Icarus Dive, Egg all committed. Sala, he pops his BKB, just hitting away with that overgrowth, but Old 11 does survive just barely. The Chalice Sunder will keep the Pango rolling, and they do barely fight Faith Beyond. Now the Sunray comes in, just burning him alive. He has the Roar, he commits. They might find Chalice, and they do. In fact, they will get X-Nova as well. So far, a 2-for-2 trade. And I believe that'll be it.
They keep trying to drop the Egg in the middle. X-Nova has had some pretty good positions with the Egg. There's just no way of keeping anyone in place for the Egg to really pay off in any meaningful way.
Can't lock him down still. A team fight going to break out on the side. X-Nova being caught by the Primal Roar. I think they need to back out Old 11. He stuck around a bit too long. He's also going to go down. They want Chalice on the Terrorblade again. They'll take a bot tier 1 tower and perhaps try and force the defense. It's FY now getting caught out. Tornado's there. It's way too late.
Again, they have the tools with a BKB on Chalice, but that can only last for so long. And of course, they do have the control through that BKB. So,
Bot lane, Raw, but Lotus Orb was there in time by Old 11. Faith now could be a sitting duck. He does have help coming in from his troll. Sylar wants to get an ensnare off, but Old 11, he's already rolling away. He'll be fine. They have seemingly bought close. Oh, wait a minute. FY comes back in for Faith Beyond. Now meta to be popped. Nimbus has also been dropped. Sylar, he's going to protect his Beastmaster. FY still trying to go for it. Now Nothing to Say comes in. Old 11 does pick up the kill, but you don't want to lose anything else here if you're PSG.LGD. And it looks like Old 11 will have zero way out. And Chalice just goes for the immediate TP. He is not risking anything when he's that close to the Eye of Skadi.
I think another key thing for LGD is that they're going to hit level 20 on Chalice soon. So you're going to have that, potentially the Reflection cooldown talent, which makes it up really a long time, and that's going to hurt Sylar. Although,
X-Nova gets caught by the Nimbus while trying to Icarus Dive and does go down. This position for Zeus coming out from the Sing-Q has been so disruptive. And FY is not going to be around. LGD, they're not going to be anywhere to be seen to try and counter this Roshan play. They are potentially going to send in the Terrorblade Illusion. Sunstrike comes in, but you haven't got X-Nova to try and go for the Aegis still a second time. And with that Aegis, with that cheese, LGD, they may feel confident to try and go for a team fight. Seems like they are, because they have smoked up. Somnus does also have an Orchid up, going for that Ags next, but Tornado is going to set up with an EMP. Sylar, do you actually initiate? Well, they drain all his mana, but he does have an Aegis. Chances are they don't find him, but bot lane, FY has been caught out. And he's definitely dead.
Fear not, your
I mean, at the very least, he's distracting EHOME from going for the objective straight up, although now that they have a numbers advantage, you'd expect EHOME to start applying that pressure. Of course, Childs with level 20 can slow that down quite nice as long as he gets Siler.
They're going to burst down Old 11. That's a real problem. Now Abyssal Bay forward straight onto the Terrorblade Chalice. He's just being controlled by these Nimbuses and Ensnares. Egg being dropped, but for what? Can they save it? No. Incurable people gets it. Chaos Meteor is going to be very nice, but again, just going to do nothing. They jump straight on top of that Invoker, and there's the GG coming out. PSG.LGD, they've had enough of this game, and I can't blame them.
Yeah, it was a confident opening from them, going for the Phoenix Pangolier. The rest of the draft just doesn't line up, and EHOME, they get everything they want. They play a lot more aggressive this game. They go to Visage. So you've got that, yeah, this is not something you see too often, but it can be highly effective. It gives you a lot of great push, a lot of good damage. So sometimes, if you're not careful, he's going to have a stack recuperate on top of you midway, and suddenly he's alive long enough to launch, what, 2 Soul Assumptions back-to-back fully charged. That is potent, although, really good movement here.
Yeah, they are going to go onto Faith Beyond. He's in a bit of trouble. Not as tanky as you'd hope. Xingqiu trying to help out, but he just can't do anything. And X-Nova, he'll pick up the first blood on the Shadow Demon. Of course, mid lane, the one we haven't really talked about too much. Somnus and Nothing to Say going up against each other. So far, Nothing to Say having a pretty grand old time. Though we'll have to talk about that later, because Faith Beyond again is going to find himself in trouble, and Chalice picks up a second kill onto Faith, and they might even find Xingqiu. Bloodright's going to be there. It does silence up this Pango, and he has Swash. Can he get it off in time? Looks like he does, just barely. There won't be enough Shadow Poison stacks to tick him out. Though bot lane, they do lose Y on the side of EHOME as well. FY picks up the kill, and LGD, great start, 0-3 so far. Bit awkward as now Chalice is level 4 on the Bloodseeker. Mid lane, Somnus is diving with a haste rune onto Nothing to Say. This could be dangerous, Somnus. It's a Fairy Fire, bottles up, does get the Crypt Swarm, but may die. And he does. But at least you got the XP and gold before you died. Gonna rotate mid onto Nothing to Say. He's getting very close to that level 6 mark, but he's not quite there yet. So if Somnus can get a Spirit Siphon going, it could be very hard for this Ember to get away. But no. FY going to back off for now. Meanwhile, Chalice has been left alone, so Faith Beyond does capitalize and does find the kill, but now the Ember will be dived with this Exorcism. He has no way out of this. He needs one more point of XP to really get there, but he doesn't have it. X-Nova doesn't actually die, surprisingly enough. Somnus will just take the front lines and ensure they can't follow up.
So, good luck dodging that as a support.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow Demon, sure, he can disrupt, but it's going to be a bit ugly to even try to Sylar. Bot lane going to get jeweled up. I believe this will be the first jewel of the game. They don't really have the damage output on Sylar, so he's still going to run away. This should still mean a kill, surely. Oof, that's a lot of damage from Overwhelming Odds. Sylar, Tricks of the Trade really dragging this out, but he does eventually go down to F1 on the puff.
That took a lot of effort for LGD this time, but they find that key kill, although EHOME ready to fight back.
Inkswell, X-Nova trying to go for the outpost. Does avoid the Inkswell with the disruption, but knows he's dead. Still, the rest of LGD may feel comfortable to try and fight this, as Old 11 does have his armlet up. I guess that's kind of a... You need that guarantee of the silence from Somnus if you are expecting that kill onto the Ember. They'll still try, though. Not committing the Exorcism yet. Xingqiu will Rolling Thunder onto Old 11. Now the Riki joins in, trying to jump on FY, but he jaunts out. Old 11 starting to fall low, but he will press the attack still. They have the control, but X-Nova will save with the disruption. Can he get this LC out? Not quite. The team fight, however, continues. Somnus has popped the Exorcism, so does want to fight. But Inkswell Familiars are following Somnus. He gets stunned up. You're going to have follow-up, and you have plenty of damage to come out from Faith Beyond. And even Chalice now going to be followed up. You still have the bird stun. There's one. This gives Sylar the chance to jump in. Grave Chill. And Chalice is going to die. What a hero.
Oh, yeah. We humped the Dominator up in Fate, so you are seeing a lot more on those familiars than you'd expect.
Absolutely. Of course, the Tier 1 tower is still going to be under siege, and we do see rotations coming in. Dream Coil is there, but I don't think it latched on anything, and yeah, it didn't. They did dodge. They'll go for the team fight anyway. The Tier 1 went down, but who cares? If you can find kills, you find kills. Disruption is going to be there on Somnus Q. He's been ruptured, falling low, but Somnus does go down for the trade. And now they can go for more, as there is so much damage coming in from EHOME with these familiars. Old 11, he can't sustain, he tries, and now the Inkswell comes in. X-Nova, he gets stunned up, he dies. Faith Beyond controlling the whole side of LGD by himself, basically. And Chalice, gonna run away. I don't know how much further he can run, as Sylar will have Blink in a second. He doesn't have an Orb of Venom or any kind of slow, but he'll chase him down, slowly but surely. Meanwhile, FY also trying to get out of there, but you do have a Sleight of Fist. He has been healing with that urn he does have. It looks like he does manage to orb away. I can't say the same. Wow. Okay. He swashbuckled him down. Chalice does also die on the Bloodseeker.
Old 11 doesn't have the easiest targets to go for with the duel. He's always going to have to worry about that Visage and the Familiars, because that will just mess up his pace. And that's just way too much to put in the plate of an LC. They just want to go in and get one fight off.
Somnus just out of position completely, getting caught out on the DP. And top lane, same thing is happening with the Riki. Old 11 does get a nice duel onto Sylar, does claim a very important kill, though mid lane, who have they found? Uh-oh, it's Chalice. Not to say should have the chains out. Plenty of control once again. Rolling Thunder even being committed just to really ensure this Bloodseeker dies, and he does. And now Old 11 is really, really far forward. Well, I say that, but he's behind his Tier 2 tower, but it doesn't matter why. With the Stroke of Powder, now X-Nova comes in. Just one by one. And more to TP in. They're trying to stem the bleeding that EHOME is providing, but it's pouring out and forcing the whole of LGD to rotate to deal with it. Does have the mech up as well, and going into the Guiding Greaves, though LGD, they smoke up. They know the rest of EHOME are there, though Y will break the smoke, and now they do scout everyone out. Soulbind immediately coming out. This is looking bad already for LGD. They get a rupture off with that Exorcism popping, but look at Somnus' HP just dropping so quick, but they found Faith with the Purge. Can they take him down in time? He still has a mech and does commit. Old 11 now goes in with the duel. Where's the protection? They do get the disarm off just in the nick of time, but no. Old 11 finds the kill. He will still go down, but we do have nothing to say. Moving forward onto Somnus, really wanting that DP, and even Sylar, he jumps in with that Diffusal Blade, gets that kill. Now the Remnants forward onto the Ember. They're going to find everybody as the FY on the puck goes down. They've lost X-Nova, and Chalice is the only man left standing, and they have a Diffusal. They do get the Purge off, and this is going to be another team wipe for EHOME. They threw everything on Faith Beyond, but that Gravekeeper's Cloak and the mech just kept him alive for so long.
Does feel like that's going to be coming out a bit too late. And this will allow EHOME to just take a real shot.
Very nice. Aegis going to be given over to Sylar, and EHOME, you know, if LGD aren't careful, they're going to finish this game in the next 10 minutes. It's that easy if they get a couple more good team fights. And they want Chalice. They know who they want to aim for. Sylar runs in. They have Inkswell. They don't get the Blink Strike they want it, but the Rolling Thunder's perfect from Q. And with the smoke screen, how do you get out of here? You just don't. Just die.
Yeah.
Nothing to say, meanwhile. Getting purged up with the silence from Somnus. This could be a big kill. He does pop his Blade Mail. Nothing to say. Has help coming in. Sleight of Fist. He has Remnants, or maybe he doesn't. Soulbind comes in with the double silence, though. Why? With the Inkswell. Controlling everyone up. And we might see a repeat LGD. This is really dangerous. They're going to lose 4 already. Where is FY? Trying to run away. They lost 4 for nothing. They didn't even find that Ember in the end.
Like, there is a bit of timer, as you mentioned, but I think with how far ahead they are, they're not too worried about that timer. There's just no space for LGD to make use of this time.
Go for a smoke. This is dangerous. They don't have that BKB yet on Chalice, and EHOME, they might go back in. Inkswell on the Familiar. Can they find somebody? Not quite, it won't reach, but they would love to get Somnus. Rolling Thunder comes in. There is going to be the silence and rupture as well into Sin-Q, but he's got so much control here onto Somnus. At least the silence does get up. Sin-Q may die for his trouble, but now the Soulbind comes in. Jewel as well being thrown out just before Sin-Q dies. This could be a good team fight for the side of LGD, but they're falling low. Chalice, he runs back in.
Oh no.
Yeah, he dies, and now Somnus is also very, very far. Faith Beyond cleaning up, and they found another old 11 going down. All of this for a position for Pangolier. And this is what I always say about this team, right? You can't underestimate EHOME. I don't care if you're the worst team in China or the best team in China. They are a team that can bring out a really weird draft, and you have no idea how you're going to play against them, no idea what they're trying to do. In fact, Sylar goes again onto Somnus, who is a sitting duck right now. They jump in, the Soulbind on both cores with the double silence once again. How do you get out of this? The double Inkswell as well. Somnus is dead. He can buy back, and he may need to, as chains will fly out. They do get the Aegis on Sylar. Chalice, he kind of just gives up there. And there's the GG. I don't blame them. I think the game's over.
Yeah, they've just lost so much ground here, LGD. For a while, they weren't too far apart in terms of net worth, and it seemed like they might be able to ride out that wave. They kept forcing fights when they shouldn't have. They should have just stepped back, tried to ride through the wave. They had decent high ground control,